Hello, hi, welcome to 18 Rules to Enrich Our Relationships. In the previous videos, we were discussing about the differences between a male and a female and how can we manage our money. If you didn't watch the movie, the link is in the description, you can watch it. So today we are going to talk about the communication skills. As we all know, the difference between the living beings and human beings is the communication, and the second thing is smiling. The animals also has communication, but it is very limited. When it comes to human beings, we have a treasure of vocabulary, we have a treasure of languages, and we have our facial expressions and we have our gestures. So we are communicating in different ways. So how this communication is bringing conflicts in the couple and how can we resolve it? The do's and don'ts in communication. So I'll give you one tip. Whenever we are talking about communication, whenever we are talking to our spouse or whenever we want to ask something to our spouse, try to avoid the question mark letters. For example, why are you late today? If I am asking my husband, then immediately he gets irritable. As such, he is very busy with his busy schedules and he is coming back after a tired day and you are asking a question. Whenever we are asking a question to the other person, it may be spouse or any other person, they think that you are interrogating them or you are trying to corner them or you are trying to blame them or you are trying to find out the weaknesses or because he is late, I am trying to point out that point of his inability to come early to home. So this is what is happening. So whenever you want to ask a question, take out that question part of it and add a statement, a friendly statement, a empathetic statement. So how can you ask, how can you make a statement instead of question? I'll take the same example. If my husband is coming late to home, I'll tell that I think you are a bit late today. Is everything okay? This makes them very calm and quiet. They won't get guarded. They feel comfortable coming back home. They want to be with the spouse. They want to share how their day was. If we are asking a question, then immediately any person will become guarded. So the first rule in communication is avoiding questions. The second thing is, whenever you are trying to communicate with your spouse, you should put yourself first instead of them. For example, my husband came late and I was waiting for him to join for the dinner, and I am telling that why are you so late? I am dying with hunger. Immediately my husband's response will be, go and die, who bothers about you? This is what the response is. So instead of that, I can improve it by telling that I am feeling very hungry, can you join me for the dinner? So what am I doing here? I am putting myself first. I am not asking him why he was late. So whenever we are communicating with our spouses, we have to put ourselves first. Whenever we are talking about them, then they become guarded and they talk about our weaknesses. So instead of getting into a sandpit of weaknesses, better we avoid that so that we can have a good communication. So always try to put yourself first. And whenever we are talking about any other thing, this is the third rule. Whenever we are talking about any issues or any kind of chores, we have to use the word we. Come, let us watch a movie. Come, let us go clean the kitchen, or come, let us sit and have our dinner. Whenever we are using a we, that will give lots of emotional connect with other person. So try to have always we in the communication. And sometimes what is happening is, when you are talking unknowingly, you are trying to point out to the previous mistakes. So instead of pointing out towards the previous mistakes, try about here and now. Here this mistake has been happened and today we will talk about only this. This is the another rule. So we are fighting for only here and now. This mistake has happened now, so we are fighting for it. And the third thing is, whenever there is an argument or communication happening between the couple, so we have to end up with a solution. For example, we had an argument regarding cutting the vegetables. So we have to come up with a solution. If we are not coming up with the solution, then what is happening? Both the brains are thinking about how can I win this argument, how can I win this fight. This will be continuously there. So whenever you have an argument, come to a conclusion, then wind it off. So this is the another kind of communication tip. And finally, what we have to do, whenever we are communicating with our spouse, try to understand the other person's mood. If they are having a tired day, just stop talking to it. Or if you are not in a good mood, you can very clearly tell them that today I think I am very cranky. Please give me some time. So this is how you are trying to explain your problem, and when you are trying to explain your problem, definitely your spouse is also trying to explain their problem. Sometimes what happens, because of so many reasons, we don't feel like sitting and discussing about anything. So we have to empathize with them, and we have to understand about their problem, and we have to cut down the communication there, and then we can communicate the next day. And sometimes what happens, whenever we are starting a communication, we start with some XYZ topic and we end with some other topic. So why this flip from one topic to the other topic, where it went wrong? All the couple should be very conscious where it is going wrong. If there is any kind of words or situations, definitely you are not supposed to touch that situations or those words. And as we have discussed earlier, there are lots of ways of communication. I'll tell you one example. My daughter is continuously nagging me to go to a party, but I am not allowing her to go, but she is continuously nagging me. So one day I told her, okay, go. So now most of you observed my gesture. Now tell me, you want to go for the party? No, absolutely no. Even though my verbal communication is go, but my non-verbal facial expression is don't go. So this is where the problem comes between the couple as well. They say something, but their facial expression and their gestures will be completely entirely different. So we are putting the other person in confusion. Let us take the same example of my daughter. Now just imagine her position, what she has to do. She has to stop from going, or she has to go to the party. This is where we are putting the spouses in confusion. So if you want to tell something, your verbal, your body language and your facial expression should be the same. Then only we are conveying a particular sentence very clear to the other person. So try to work on your facial expressions and verbal communication and your body language. By working on it, definitely you will have good communication with your spouse. And whenever we are having a communication, we generally drip into the relatives. Our communication generally drips into a subject called relatives. So how relatives are creating conflicts in between the couple, how can we resolve it? We'll watch in next video. Thank you so much for watching.